Ladies and gentlemen, now my next guest has appeared in numerous films, including Reservoir Dogs and Fargo. His latest film, very cool movies, Trees Lounge, marks his directorial debut. Let's take a look.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I was in there last week. I left my number. Just wondering if you found a mechanic yet.
No, not yet.
Okay, because I'm available. You know, I mean, I know you're probably still looking at other possibilities, but I could start any time.
I remember you. Where's your car?
My car?
Yeah, when you drove away from here last week, your car stalled out down the block. It took you 25 minutes to get it started.
I know, it's a piece of... But I got it running pretty good now.
So how come you're on foot?
Just felt like walking.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Steve Buscemi. You know, this movie actually, this movie, it's, I'll give a brief plot. It's a guy pretty much just hangs out in a bar a lot. Guy's a little bit down on his luck, is that right?
He's a lot like Joel, actually. I'm really depressed now myself. But yeah, he lost his job, and yeah, he's a mechanic who has trouble fixing his own car, and but so he hangs out at this bar a lot because he doesn't really have anything else going on.
And the bar is located in Valley Stream?
Valley Stream, Long Island,
which is where you're from.
I grew up, yeah.
So is this at all, is there anything autobiographical at all about this movie?
Yeah, I mean, the Trees Lounge, it was a real bar. I used to work in a gas station, and then my character ends up driving an ice cream truck, which I used to do. I used to drive an ice cream. So I just put everything that I used to do when I lived in Valley Stream into the film. But I used to hang out at a bar called The Walk-In, which was kind of, it wasn't as intense as Trees Lounge. You kind of had to graduate to get to the Trees Lounge. I think Trees Lounge would have been the bar I would have, you know, been there if I stayed in Valley Stream, because that was for like the serious drinkers.
You say that like, oh man, if I had really made it, I'd be drinking in that bar right now.
If I would have stuck to it, I think I, you know.
No, so describe the bar that you were hanging out in. How old were you at the time?
Well, I was like 18 or, well, actually I was like 16 or 17, because then...
We can edit the show and have it come out right if you want.
The drinking age was 18 then, so it was a lot easier to get fake ID when you're 16. And,
right.
And,
was this a lenient bar? Is this a bar they didn't check your ID?
Well, the bartenders were friends of... Yeah, I mean, the bartenders were like 19 and 20, you know, 21. And I remember the one bartender, Connie, she used to have these emergencies and have to leave, and she'd let us run the bar. She would just...
Really?
Yeah.
These 16-year-old kids can mind themselves in this bar.
I trust them, yeah.
Yeah. So. All right. Very nice woman. You've worked with the Coen brothers, who are among my favorite filmmakers. And we were talking before the show actually about your being in Barton Fink. And there's something about your acting style, whatever, that seems to work really well for Coen brothers movies, which is kind of, their movies are known to be a little bit offbeat, quirky, and you seem to have a good relationship with those guys.
Yeah, it started with Miller's Crossing, and then after that they wrote me parts, and Fargo, they showed me, you know, they sent me the script, and I read this character, and you know, he was referred to as funny looking a couple times, and that kind of excited me, because I thought, oh, this is good, I'll get a chance to maybe, like, you know, maybe have nose putty, or I thought maybe wearing braces or something.
Right.
And I talked to them about this, and they were like, oh, okay. And it became clear to me after 5 minutes they didn't want me to do anything.
Oh,
that's okay.
Oh, well.
Just show up.
Yeah, well, you got the work. That's the important thing.
The important thing. But somebody told me that you did a thing where it was a before and after
plastic surgery.
Me having plastic surgery,
that's right,
which I never saw, and I asked Frank if I could...
You asked the guy backstage if he could take a look at this. All right, we do a thing on the show where we talk about how a lot of the celebrities, as you know them today, that they had plastic surgery earlier in their lives to get to look like they do now, and that you're not even aware of this. And then we said, we listed some celebrities, and then we said Steve Buscemi, actually, one of them, who you don't know what he's had quite a bit of plastic surgery done, and we'll show you what he looked like before plastic surgery. There he is now, and then we took a look at you before plastic surgery, and we thought that...
thought you were my friend, Conan.
Hi there. How are you?
Actually, I didn't see the difference.
There's a big difference there. All right. You know, it's you're obviously very funny often in these movies, but I did not think that you were a stand-up comic. You actually did some stand-up,
Well, that's what I tried when I first moved to Manhattan. I tried doing stand-up, and I actually passed the auditions at the Improv. But I would, I waited around for months trying to get on, and one night there wasn't any other comics there. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. There was still an audience, so they begrudgingly said, "All right, you're next." And then I was just about to go on, and then Paul Reiser came in, and they were like, "Oh, great, Paul's here." And then, they put him up instead of me. He did like 20 minutes, and he did great. Left, and then most of the audience left with him. I got up there, and it was, and I bombed.
Right.
And then it was hard getting on after that. So I always, not that I held it personally against Paul, but
you hated him with a deep passion.
I forgot him.
Yeah.
Let's say that. And then a couple years ago, a friend of mine, Maxine Lapidus, who was a writer on Mad About You, asked me if I would do this thing on the show where I play a guy who works as a token booth guy selling tokens in the subway, who went to film school with Paul, and that he was trying to finish his film, but Paul's character got to the editing room first, finished his film. I never finished mine, and now I'm a complete failure. And
extremely ironic.
And Paul comes in to buy a token, and I recognize him, and then I get to yell at him. And I said, absolutely, I'll do it.
I want this role.
So I got
you can draw on that.
Revenge on Paul, yeah.
Draw on that as an actor. All right. Well, the movie Trees Lounge opens Friday, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Thanks a lot for coming back. Good to have you with us, Steve Buscemi, everybody. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Cornells will be here. Stick around.